What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
James Shu, how are you, good sir?
.com.
Love the shirt. I think the colors blend beautifully.
Well, thank you, sir. And tonight we are here to see the Wachowski siblings, Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, so the Wachowskis, who blew up the world of motion pictures in 1999. I know it wasn't their first film, but The Matrix is what really put the siblings on the map.
At the time, brothers.
Yeah, at the time, brothers. But I mean, this is a film that immediately implemented itself in the world of motion pictures. One of the most recognizable action films of all time. Tell me, I think Matrix is in your top 10? No? Like, aren't you a huge fan of Matrix?
I don't know if it's top 10 anymore, just because so many movies.
But you are a big fan of Matrix.
But Matrix, I'll even say the trilogy itself, I love. The Wachowski siblings, Larry, now Lana, and also, wow, can't remember the other one.
Alex, I believe is?
No, that's not right. Anyway, the Wachowski brothers at the time changed my life. Bullet Time, and then the idea of Matrix, and then the Animatrix, and then Matrix Reloaded, which I'm a fan of, and then Matrix Revolutions, which was a step down. But they changed my life, and I had so much hype for Speed Racer, let me down. I had so much hype for Cloud Atlas, let me down.
Yeah.
But the one thing you can always count on when it comes to the Wachowskis is visuals. And this movie, from the trailers, you could tell is gonna be full-on visuals, full-on CG. And I'm already worried because the movie was supposed to come out last year, 2014.
Yeah.
It delayed. It's come out in disaster month.
Yeah.
That's not looking good. The reviews are coming out. That's not looking good. And I'm actually not excited. I want to go into this movie loving it. I want to leave saying I love this film, bro.
But you're being cautious.
I am, only because it
well, we do know that it premiered in Sundance. It had a surprise, screening at Sundance, and literally had walkouts. So that really kind of makes me nervous. You know, and the thing is like, I really respect the Wachowskis for their work. I think, like you said, that they do have great elements. However, every time we see their names, you know, everyone's like, oh, this is the people who brought us The Matrix, you know, and it's just, I want to be that positive, but their track record hasn't been so, you know. Orson Welles made a great point of, like, you know, it's really tough when the first film you make, even though I know it wasn't their exact first, was the best thing that you've made, you know. Ask Sylvester Stallone. It's really, really tough to kind of top The Matrix. I mean, and I think for them, that's got to be, as an artist, I can imagine that just being so gnawing, is like you want to make something as good, but you're just kind of going down the slope. This movie, to me, does not look appealing. It's very rare that I've actually watched a trailer and made a movie look unappealing itself. And I'm trying to go in as blank as possible. I think Channing Tatum is
stepped up.
Totally stepped up. He is someone. He's someone we're talking about.
Get it?
I think one of the greatest things an actor could do is try everything. And I think he, if not, you know, is the ideal actor who's done that. From going from Step Up to action films, you know, like G.I. Joe, to being in serious movies like Foxcatcher, and now this, you know, more power to Magic Mike for doing so much
Double
stuff.
X.
But is it going to be good? That's the question. I'm not sure.
You know what's bad though is what you said is this film was about, what, 2 hours?
2 hours and 5 minutes.
It's bad when you say that the film is 2 hours and 5 minutes, so it's 125 minutes, and all you have to take is 2 minutes to make it look good. You can't even pull 2 minutes together.
So that's not good.
I
mean, I don't know about you. You saw the trailer? Like, to me, it was not like, oh, I'm interested in that. Like, it was really like, oh. And you know, I know some people can watch a trailer and kind of guess if a movie's gonna be good or bad. You know, everyone does that, but there's something about that trailer that just doesn't even make, like, they weren't even trying to sell it. You know, the best thing they could have done, honestly, was just make sure that they could have just put the Wachowskis brothers, or Wachowski siblings, new film up on the screen for 30 seconds and would have had a better sell.
Well, this is $175 million. Whew. So we're gonna
that's a lot of cheese. I
hope when I come out that I'm jacked up, dude.
Yeah, I hope so.
I want to get that fire back, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, Chasing. All right, so we just got out of Jupiter Ascending, and I'm gonna have to say, man, it's not great, dude. I don't even know if I could say it was good. It was like the one thing I will say though is they went into this movie reminding me of John Carter mixed with Ender's Game. Like it had. Did you see Ender's Game? I don't remember.
You know, I saw bits and pieces of Ender's Game, but I saw John Carter, and to me that says a lot.
I liked John Carter.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I that movie didn't look good, and I left saying, "Oh, that's pretty good." So, and also another thing that I have to give the Wachowskis is they go all balls out. They created another world, a couple of language, a new language, I assume. They created ideas of the society and how so they go all out in this world building. And another thing I like that Wachowskis, I'm trying to give the good stuff I like because there aren't that many. Another thing that I like the Wachowskis did is in the Matrix, anytime you see deja vu, that means that there was a reboot in the Matrix. Well, in this film, they said the B thing. I smiled. And then the other thing that they said that in this world was it was like the deja vu thing where they said oh crap, Ken, do you remember the other one? No, there was 2 deja vu or those type of things.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, that was clever, that was cool. And the
You're
movie,
reaching.
I really am. This movie wasn't really good, but I would say though, and I don't think even someone who hated the movie will have to at least admit, the visuals though. Again, the Wachowskis know how to do visuals. They just need writers. They're like the George. I was talking to international magician Deborah, who just got back from Dubai. And he was telling me that
That's so cool.
It is very cool. And anyway, he was just telling me that he's like, the Wachowskis are like George Lucas. Great ideas, phenomenal ideas, but dude, get writers for your stuff, dude, because it wasn't good.
Well, you know, and that's the thing is like sometimes I've thought differently where, you know, the Wachowskis had a big hand in writing V for Vendetta. And that's a film that I love, you know, but is it the direction or is it the writing? And that's where it kind of all falls apart.
Yeah.
I spent the last couple days in Boulder City celebrating the 11th annual Damn Short Film Festival, and I watched about 20 to 30 short films of aspiring filmmakers who really, you know, are just doing their best to make great films. And there's something about that. And then I come to watch this movie that's just so hard to do because I'm seeing these people that want it. And I'm not saying the Wachowskis aren't passionate because I've watched interviews with them. You know, I've been following them since The Matrix, and they do seem very passionate.
They're comic book nerds.
They definitely care about what they do.
They do.
But there is this part of denial where you gotta, like you said, kind of gotta go, am I the best one to make this movie? Is it for me? Now this movie, unfortunately, I thought was a complete mess. Like you said, the visuals were great, but even that, at moments, struggled. And I don't think it was so impressive that I'll remember the visuals or bring up the visuals in probably, you know, 6 months when we are going down, you know, Blockbuster. Well, not even 6 months, now like 4 months, you know, into the Blockbuster area and then into the award ceremony type time frame. So I thought that everyone in this movie was acting like they're in a different movie. That was one of my biggest pet peeves, was that Eddie Redmayne, who I absolutely love, but was playing a Norman Bates-like character in Psycho. You know, for some reason, anytime a Hollywood movie really portrays psychos, they're always really over the top, kind of feminine men who really have a thing for their moms. And I don't know why. Yes.
Why? This is where I start going. Why did he have to talk like that? Like
I did that on the podcast.
I wanted to like hang myself. I was like, and this is Stephen Hawking's I'm about to get an Oscar type of guy, okay?
Who won the SAG Award for Best Actor.
And his voice, and it seemed like he got like lip injections or something. What was up with his lips? His lips were off to me. Yes? No?
Terrible.
His lips were weird, and then the voice, please, the feminine. Why?
Well, it's not the fact that it's,
and then he just went berserker every now.
He was way over the top. He was unbelievable.
Give him a twirly mustache.
So that's Eddie Redmayne. That's like one of our main antagonists of the film. And then we have, you know, Channing Tatum, who, you know, I don't want to knock him, but it was like watching X-Men on ice. You know, he was like Beast on rollerblades, you know? Even though they weren't rollerblades, the whole movie was just kind of like sprinting around, like acting like he wants to be in a Marvel movie. I mean, I know he's probably going to be...
Gambit?
Yeah, I know he's going to be our next Gambit. Yeah, he is our next Gambit.
Which I'm very excited for.
I'm hoping it's not, you know, in this vein, because the rollerblading and the biting, the whole wolf thing, I didn't get that. And then Mila Kunis and her whole family are in like My Big Fat Russian Wedding, where it's all a big romantic comedy. Like there's that one scene when she's talking to Channing Tatum and he's like, I'm more like a dog to you than anything. I love dogs. Like, am I watching a romantic comedy? And then at the end, where her whole family's talking about getting like with a guy, it's like, what is this going on? But Mila Kunis, Eddie Redmayne, Channing Tatum are all solid actors. So I can't say it's their fault. I believe they tried their hardest to kind of revive what's going on in the script, and that's where the big problems are. I didn't understand this movie, and no, I don't mean I don't understand the plot, but what was the point of this movie? What was the whole idea of me going to see this movie? What was I supposed to get out of it? Was it to entertain? Because I wasn't entertained. I bit my fingernails down as much as I can, and I had a pounding headache when I left. I wasn't entertained. I didn't get any message from it. I thought that the whole movie was just flip-flopping, the tone. You know, it seems it's this really dark space opera. You know, I feel like it kind of ended in like a cheesy Spider-Man type sequence. Like, everything was
really
just
good. Yeah, it went Spider-Man.
Everything was just so all over the place. I was like, what is going on? So unfortunately, I really cannot wrap my head around what this movie was supposed to do, how it was supposed to make me feel, and what was the point. And for me, that's a huge, huge problem for the Wachowskis.
It wasn't good, dude.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And you know, it wasn't like a film where I could say I hated that movie. But
no, I didn't hate it.
Because it didn't, I mean, I was bored and I did get a headache from it.
Yeah,
but there were so many bad things that I was able to kind of just concentrate on how bad it was. And that says something. But again, I didn't walk out angry hating it. Like I felt about, you know, Johnny Depp's last film, Mordecai. Like I was upset about spending my time in there. But I mean, if you're a Wachowski fan, go see the movie. If you care about space operas and you think you like that kind of CGI, don't expect Star Wars, don't expect Star Trek, but, you know, you might enjoy this film. But otherwise, I mean, even that's a stretch, because I think this movie's all over the place, a mess.
Let me ask you this, and I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
Because this movie probably isn't going to do well. It doesn't look like it's going to do well. It's not tracking well. Warner Brothers is all about the Wachowskis. Obviously, every film that is Wachowski, it's
they
produced.
Push it.
Yeah, it's done by Warner Brothers. So do you think that because the only hit that they've really had is Matrix, that we're gonna get a sequel to Matrix? So if this bombs, do we have a better chance that we're gonna get a sequel to Matrix, or because it's gonna bomb, forget it, the Wachowskis are done? If you had to pick one of those two.
I don't know, because, you know, like, I brought this up at the screening, you know, I heard the few people, because, you know, sometimes our press screenings aren't closed to everybody. There are some audience people who win tickets off the radio or whatever. And people, you know, they're real, like, well, not one, but they're two directors that are constantly excused. And that's very rare to happen. You know, you can have a filmmaker that makes a great movie, they make that one stinker, they're forgotten. Like, people just don't, oh no, he did that, but yeah, he made that movie. You know, but they've excused the last 3-4 movies of them. Cloud Atlas wasn't hated by everyone. It was kind of mixed reviewed. But like Speed Racer, like I know people who consider Speed Racer as a crime against film. And I honestly agree with that. But, you know, visually it was cool, but just total absurdity. But I'm just saying, like, they keep getting an excuse for the Matrix. So I don't know if the Warner Bros. Are going to keep saying, well, these guys might bring us the next Matrix. We don't know. You know, I think that if they did a Matrix sequel now, it would just kind of look like they're, you know, they're going back to that I don't want to say one-hit wonder, but they're going back to their, you know, I mean, because you can look at it as they're going back to the roots, but I think in fans' eyes, it's like, so what, you're just giving up on new stuff? Like, you just got to go back to what made you famous? And, you know, to me,
I want a sequel.
I wouldn't mind a sequel. You know, but I think Keanu's doing fine with John Wick, you know.
And he's getting a sequel, John Wick 2.
That already, like, I think that they, like, even started pre-production, yeah. So, I mean, I'm all about it, but if they made another Matrix, I'd go see it. If they make another movie, I'd go see it. But right now, they are in a slump and they can't get out of it.
No, it's not looking good right now. Anyway, they got that Netflix deal coming along.
Yeah?
They're doing an original series with Netflix, so...
Maybe that's where they should be. Maybe that's where they should be.
Maybe they'll give some blood and get it in there.
I don't know what they were thinking on this one. I just did not. I know that she claimed that a lot of the credit goes to one of her favorite novels, The Odyssey. Yeah. That, you know, I could kind of see Odyssey elements to it, but not really. I know there was a book in 1997, Jupiter Ascending, but I just didn't buy the movie from the get-go. It was just all sorts of just off, and I just had trouble jumping in, you know. It was like, there's a pool there, but I'm not getting in. And
no, it's funny that you mentioned the ending, too, because I mean, this is
Spider-Man ending.
What I'm about to say, I guess, is gonna be considered a spoiler, but it's not really because no one's gonna watch this movie anyway. You know how the ending, they get the telescope for her. That was so stupid because at the beginning we just realized, we were told that this guy, the dad, is such a jerk, and the landlord or whatever,
the leader of the household,
is just a jerk, and it's like, and then at the ending they all of a sudden become this lovey. That didn't. Well, it's not even that to me. Like, the telescope didn't even really bother me, even though I was like, I thought she bought it already, but I guess not, because she bid, but I guess she didn't win. No, they didn't have the money, remember?
That's true, but didn't she bid? Like, if you bid? Oh, I don't know. I didn't really order anything on eBay. I'm an Amazon guy, so if you
have to pay for your goods.
Well, that's true. But yeah, she was too busy in space. But nonetheless, to me, it was, again, maybe spoiler. It was when they both are just, you know, lovey-dovey jumping off rooftops, where I was like, what is happening right now? Like, this movie should not be ending like this. And then again, I was like, maybe it should end like this, because this movie had no idea what it wanted to be. That movie was a romantic comedy that just so happened to take place with killer aliens and spaceships and stuff.
Oh, and those aliens to me look like a Goomba from Super Mario.
They were like Killer Croc, you know?
They did not look good either.
I mean, there was things that I really kind of wanted to like about this movie, but every time I was like, okay, maybe I keep. All right, no. I mean, the dialogue was so terrible. I mean, I was just like, what are they saying? That dog line drove me nuts. I did not. Okay, that's enough.
All right, well, chasingcinema.com/
Jupiter Ascending.
You can get the full-on review written by
myself.
And then you can get more details in on that. And then next week, 7 days from today, we're gonna be checking out
2 major movies.
We got the rated R 50 Shades of Grey. 1/5 of the movie is sex scenes. 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes of 50 Shades of Grey is sex.
How much was the book sex?
Like the whole thing, they say. I don't know.
So
I didn't read it either.
Okay.
And then we also have something I'm very excited about: Kingsman: The Secret Service,
which looks
Matthew
awesome.
Vaughn.
I saw a couple of trailers, not trailers, Super Bowl spots. That looked really awesome. I'm really getting excited for that movie. And I know it probably is not the smartest time for it to come out, but there'll also be the release of Las Vegas, Still Alice, the film that Julianne Moore is going to be nominated for. I thought it was coming out this week, but I was wrong.
People say she's going to win.
A lot of people think she might win.
Best actress.
You know, I think it's tough. I think that it's going to be kind of interesting to see her and Felicity Jones, but you know, I believe she won the SAG Award for Best Actress, so.
Okay, we'll be back.
Let's do it.
All right.
We also reviewed SpongeBob, so go check out that review.
If you haven't seen that already, and check out the Film Lovers website.